Hey, what's up, guys? It's Purpose Journal Live Sports, and I'm back with you guys again for another NBA video. So, the last two videos I talked about the Warriors and Clippers, talked about the Houston Rockets and the Utah Jazz. That series is over. Now you just have Denver and the Spurs. So, the Warriors and Clippers, Denver and Spurs, last two matches in the first round. In this video, I want to talk about Philadelphia versus Toronto, and I want to talk about the Boston Celtics versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I'm going to pick the Toronto Raptors in 5 games. I don't think they'll sweep, but I'm going to pick Toronto for this reason. To me, Kawhi Leonard is really going to show us this next round his defensive acumen, I think. And he's going to defensively be everywhere to me. Even though you could say there's a lot of different matchups, I still think that even though the starting five for Philadelphia is loaded, they're very talented. To me, Toronto's defense, it was ranked in the top 5 this year. They're so defensively great that I don't really see too much that's going to happen. I will say this. The matchups are so weird with Philadelphia, and the reason why they win games is because with Ben Simmons at point guard, you have he's 6'10". And then you go down to the shooting guard, JJ Redick, who's 6'4". Maybe even 6'3". I don't know how tall he really is. He's 6'4". He's listed at 6'4". The small forward is Jimmy Butler. He's like 6'7", 6'8". He's tall and lanky. You got Tobias Harris, who's 6'9". He's pretty short for a power forward, but he's a stretch forward, so he's perfect size. Then you got Joel Embiid, who's 7'2". So I don't know how that's going to match up. That's going to be completely, to me, that's weird. And I don't even know how you play that. So if I was thinking, here's what I would do. I put Kyle Lowry put him on JJ Redick because he can chase JJ Redick around. That'll be a good matchup. Even though you could say Danny Green could do that. Where would I put Danny Green? I put Danny Green on Ben Simmons. Danny Green is, they say 6'4". He might be 6'5", but he's got long arms. And to me, if Ben Simmons tries to get into the lane, his length can kind of make it difficult for Ben Simmons. And then you can put Kawhi Leonard on a Jimmy Butler. That'll be a really great matchup, those two going at it. Then you got Pascal Siakam on Tobias Harris. He's got great length. Pascal Siakam, to me, he's kind of underrated defensively just because he doesn't really show out, but he has great length, and he's a good rebounder for his size. I think he's listed at 6'9", 6'10". He looks like he's 6'11", but I'm not really sure. I think he is actually 6'10". Then you got the 7'1", Marc Gasol, who size-wise can actually match up with a Joel Embiid. Now, he's not as strong as Joel Embiid, but like to me, this team in Toronto is very long because they got long arms, they got good length, and they really defend. They're a really great defensive team. So that matchup inside, to me, is going to be, that could actually be the deciding factor in how short or long the series is for Toronto. I think either way, Toronto wins. 4, 5, 6, or 7. Toronto wins this series because of Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard can score with the best of them. Kendrick Perkins a few days ago said he reminds him of Michael Jordan because of his the way he plays. He's got that really nice fadeaway jumper. He's not athletically like Michael, but he's really smart in his mid-range shooting. He's a better three-point shooter than Michael, hands down. His offensive game, to me, is very complete. The only thing that I would say that I've always said about Kawhi Leonard is that his passing has to get better. But he's such a great offensive player, and his defense really tops him off, which is why, to many people, he's back in the conversation for being a top 5 NBA player. Now, for Philadelphia, here's what I'm going to say. I don't trust this team against a team like Toronto because of their youth, and a lot of people say they haven't played together a lot. I think that's probably going to come out in this series more than it was against the Nets because the Nets weren't going to really challenge them. Toronto is going to make it hard. They have a deep bench. This is going to get exposed as well against Toronto. Philadelphia doesn't have a deep bench. They only play like 8 guys. They play Mike Scott. They play, who else do they play? I think they play Boban Marjanovic, but their bench is not deep. They don't have a lot of guys who can shoot the ball. to me, that's going to get exposed in this next series against the Toronto Raptors. Toronto is so deep. They got a great starting lineup in themselves. I see those matchups that I just said. I see those matchups that I just talked about. To me, you favor Toronto in every way. Joel Embiid can average 30 and 15. I still think that because of their bench situation, they haven't played together as much. They're going to get exposed to me by Toronto in this series. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm going to pick Toronto in 5. Now on to Milwaukee and Boston. A lot of people are actually picking Boston to lose this series. They're favoring Milwaukee. I'm going to say this is going to be a lot closer than people think. And I'm going to take Boston, and here's why. Boston's been a very streaky team. They're kind of like Houston where they're streaky. Not from three. To me, Boston's more consistent shooting the three ball because they don't shoot as much, but they're a better defensive team as well to me. Their leader in Kyrie. Boston, to me, is a very good team that's kind of just had a shaky year just because everybody's trying to figure out the role. And to me, they've kind of figured it out the right time. Now, Indiana's not really the greatest playoff matchup to really determine if a team is really flowing. I'm just going to say that. But Gordon Hayward, I think he needed a series like Indiana to get some confidence going and rolling. That can play very well into Boston's hand because him coming off the bench, and if he's able to score, that's just another weapon for the Boston Celtics to come at you with. Because you got Kyrie, you got Jason Tatum, you got Al Horford who can score, you got Marcus Smart who's now in the starting lineup. Now he's shooting threes better. I don't remember if Terry Rozier or Jaylen Brown started, but Jaylen Brown is a stout defender. Terry Rozier, you got Gordon Hayward. Those two coming off the bench is great. So then you got Daniel Tice. You have Aaron Baines. You see, this Boston team to me is very underrated in this series. Now, on Milwaukee's side, you got probably neck and neck with Kevin Durant for the best player in the NBA and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Got great length. He defends. He rebounds. Man, he does pretty much everything except shoot the ball. That's the only thing he can't do. But he passes well. He gets to the rim whenever he wants. Such a great player. And then you got Eric Bledsoe, to me, has really stepped up this year. He's played exceptionally well, especially defensively. And then he's a good passer as well. Then you got Chris Middleton. He can score with the best of them. He's a good three-point shooter, great defender. You got Brook Lopez, to me, who, when they let him loose and shooting threes, getting to the rim, blocking shots, he's really been a guy who has been great beside Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then we're waiting to see what happens for Malcolm Brogdon when he gets back with that plantar fascia injury. But I think when he gets back, that'll really be a boost, even though I still pick Boston to win in 7. Like, I didn't say that first, but I'm picking Boston to win in 7. And then you have Nikola Mirotic, who can shoot the three. He's a good rebounder. I just think this year's going to be so close, man. It's hard to, I got to see it to really know what I got to really see it because it's so close. Like, these teams are neck and neck in terms of they're both efficient offensively. They're both efficient defensively. This is going to be a grinded out clash of the Titans type of series. Magic Johnson tweeted today, I think, that these two series in Boston and Philadelphia, even though I don't agree about Boston and Philadelphia and Toronto, I don't know if Philly can really challenge Toronto. I think they just don't have enough depth. But Boston and Milwaukee, Lord, this is going to be a clash. It's going to be like this the whole series. Even though you don't really have a guy who can guard Giannis like that, even though I could say you can put Al Horford on him, even though speed-wise he's not really there. He's actually a pretty good rim protector in Al Horford. He's pretty strong, so we're going to see how that matches up. But I'm really looking forward to this series. I'm excited for this. It's going to be crazy what happens. So, like I said, I'm picking Boston in 7. I have to see the game first to really know, but I'm picking Boston in 7, and then I'm going to pick Toronto in 5. Sorry, to me, Toronto just has too much. They got too much for Philadelphia. Philadelphia is not deep enough. They don't have enough guys who can come off the bench and score. I'm not saying Philadelphia's a bad team. I'm just saying they don't have enough depth. So that's going to be their only issue. But that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank you guys for listening to me break down the next playoff series beginning the second round in the Eastern Conference. It's going to be the second round is going to be excellent. This year in the playoffs has been so great. Like, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but this first round was excellent. The first round is just about over. I'm picking Golden State to win Game 6. I think I told you guys that in the first video. But it's been so exciting. Games have actually been closer than I thought. There's not a lot of blowouts. A lot of battles have happened. Man, this year the playoffs has just been. It wasn't. Last year was just you kind of knew. This year you're like you know who you think is gonna win, but it's gonna be not gonna be like a cakewalk-ish type of thing. So, yeah, this year's gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy, bro. So, thank you guys for listening again, and this was fun breaking this down. I'll talk to you guys again in the next video.